face-to-face conversations, from face-to-face conversations to now many social platforms such as Zoom, Facebook, and others. More importantly, you would have seen Dominica transformed in many ways for the benefit of all. Life will go by in a blink of an eye. Each birthday comes faster than the last, and it is important for us to cherish every second we get to spend living. We at the ministry will do our best to make living to be 100 years just a little bit easier, and I heard his daughter allude to some of the benefits. To date, Dominica is blessed to have 14 cherished centenarians. Our government has ensured that assistance is provided to their families in order to make these twilight years more comfortable. Each esteemed centenarian, like Mr. Riley, receives $500 on a monthly basis, along with other support from our corporate partners to include free water supply, free electricity supply, and free cooking gas. Additionally, the Ministry of Housing and Social Services addresses some of the housing needs of our centenarians in order to make them more comfortable. Reaching your 100th birthday is like breaking a sports record that has stood for decades. And although more seniors are passing this mark, it is still a remarkable achievement. And you, Mr. Riley, should be very happy and proud that you made it. And the family and friends who have been by your side these years should feel proud as well. So congratulations, Mr. James, on this tremendous milestone. On behalf of the ministry and the government of Dominica, we wish you continued good health and fruitful days ahead. You now belong to an elite group, a special group, and we are delighted to be with you, to welcome you to that group. Mr. Riley, we appreciate your life, and we ask God continued blessings, His strength to your faith as you continue as a golden citizen of this beloved nation which you have helped to build. May God bless you. I also have congratulatory remarks from the President, but I think I should do this just before I present
I can call you back up.
his gift from her.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Williams. And I'll be happy to call you back up for that session. I'm going to call on my daughter, Michaela. This is a song I remembered when we played it at graduation from grammar school. I'm a DGS alumni, and we also support DGS as well, class of 1987. And we played this song, so we're not going to play the song. I took a little bit of liberty with the wording and tweaked a little bit of it. It's an old song by Lulu. It was To Serve With Love, really expressing how we feel about that. So my youngest daughter, Michaela, will read that off for us today.
Good afternoon. Those old school days of telling tales and biting nails are gone, but in our mind, I know they will still live on and on. But how do you think someone who has taken us from crayons to adults? It isn't easy, but we'll try. Dada, if you wanted the sky, we would write it across the sky in letters. That would soar 1,000 feet high. To Dada, with love, at the special milestone at 100. You have unselfishly shared your best years of raising us. You taught us right from wrong and weak from strong. That's a lot to learn. You've loved us as your own. If you wanted the moon, that would not be enough. We would rather you have our heart in love. We love you, Dada. Happy birthday.
All right, so yes, that is a big deal to us, if you can't tell. I believe I was the first grandson that stayed with Dada. When I came from the hospital, I remember I woke up in Pottersville. So I don't remember the hospital part, all I know I woke up in Pottersville. Now, Ambrose, my cousin over there, my beloved cousin, she keeps telling me about, oh, well, you know, Dad like you, he was the first boy, blah, blah. And I say, okay. And she say, well, how I know? Because he used to bring goat milk for you. Special milk. And we didn't know back then just the value of what that meant. But as a child growing up, knowing, trying to keep it together, and I will get through it. It's okay. Knowing what that meant to me, like my sister said, and I still use that term today, and I think some of you who were with us last year at his 99th heard me say, you have honor. They have honor. And those words, as a young kid growing up, knowing somebody always had your back, that is going to stay with me for the rest of my life. And even today with my 3 kids, it's the same term that I use. They have honors. I have their back like he had mine. And I'm just grateful to the rest of the family for coming together and us all having that as back today. And in his years since Mama's gone, we were fortunate to have 2 of our grandparents make it past 100. And there is no other place that I would rather be today than to be here celebrating Dada's birthday. So happy birthday, Dada. All right. Enough of the emotion from me. I'll pull it together. We're going to move. So we have our food's ready. And I believe in eating on time. I don't like food sitting. I don't like food waiting. But before we get to we transition to that, you'll have an opportunity to give your tribute, to say a few words. We have some time, you can fellowship, but we want to make sure that if folks have other commitments that they came in, we want to make sure they can at least eat with us and fellowship with us before they move on to the next part of their evening. So what we're going to do is there are some gifts that are going to be presented. There's a presentation, I believe, from the Office of the President, Council of Aging. There are a couple of others. And so I'm not sure what proper protocol is. However, what I would like to do, if I can get an okay, would be to start off with Ainsworth from the Council of Aging, and then you would close us out with the presentation. Would that be okay? All right. So we would like you to, I believe there's a presentation on the behalf of the Council of Aging. Okay, we can start with that one. And it's okay, I can talk, Go ahead, take your time. And so the rest of you, if you have a little speech you want to make, whatever it is, like scroll it on your phone or whatever it is, so that when you come up, you can come up, be brief, be heard, and be gone, right? So without wasting time. So are you going to give a couple of remarks?
Just a few.
Yes,
shortly.
please.
Not too long.
Take your time.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony. You're doing a wonderful job.
I don't know about that.
Honorable Cassandra Williams, Dr. Williams, Minister of Senior Security. We have Honorable Kastani Laville, Minister of Health. Deacon Alvin Knight and Mistress Knight, Mr. Riley, friends and family, and relatives and friends. On behalf of the Dominica Council on Aging, I want to say how happy I am this afternoon to make a simple presentation. In fact, Mr. Nigel Lawrence, the president, was long to come here this afternoon, and he had to travel overseas at short notice. And of course, Sherita Gregoire, who is the first vice president, was supposed to deputize for him. She had some difficulties and asked me to come here this afternoon. So indeed, I want to say how grateful we are. We are so delighted this afternoon that we have 2 ministers of government present. That signifies the importance of, senior citizens. And Mr. Riley, we want to just commend you highly. I want to say you have reached a century of wisdom and a lifetime of grace, and your heart remains forever youthful. So on behalf of the council, we want to just present this token of, gratitude. And, the Dominica Council on Aging, we always try to, focus especially on our senior citizens. And as the minister said, we have 14 centenarians in Dominica today, including Mr. Riley. 9 are women and 5 male. And so the minister did outline the various things that you'll be receiving from the government. I don't want to just rehash it, but just to say yes, I'm sure the government will give you at least a $500 contribution on a monthly basis. You'll get about $600 electricity from Domlec on your birthday, I think, and your birthday, every birthday. About 2,000 gallons of water from Dowasco on a monthly basis. A petrol Carib cylinder on a monthly basis, and a hamper from Easter Trading at Christmas time and at your birthday. So without any further ado, I know the agenda looks pretty long. I want to just present that. Maybe you can receive that on behalf of Mr. Riley. And we want to just commend you, and we wish you longer life and longevity. Thank you very much. So that's it.
Thank you on behalf of Dada. And I believe there are a couple more, and I think Dr. Williams.
Excellency has asked me to read a message from her since she's unable to make it today due to prior engagements. Dear Mr. Riley, on behalf of the government and people of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and on behalf of Mr. Burton and myself, I wish to extend to you my congratulations and good wishes on the occasion of the celebration of your 100th birthday on Friday, 1st December 2023. May the good Lord continue to bless you. Yours sincerely, Sylvanie Burton, President of Dominica. This is from Her Excellency.
Yes, you want to receive it?
Yes.
To the Ministry of Health, Welfare, and Social Services. Minister Laville. I'll go to this side. I'll go to this. No, stay on this side. Dennis Joseph, past manager of PBS Radio. My grandfather. So, Mr. Joseph, I have to say this. I think I'm owed wages from DBS because Daddy used to make me go in the afternoons to deliver letters. I don't remember getting paid. I think I have to go back. Thanks for coming. We're glad that you're here. Thank you. Technician extraordinaire, Roy Christopher, DBS. Roy, besides being a really good co-worker of that, he became a really good friend. And it's funny, but our circumstances will sort of dictate what happens. They start to get up really early to go turn things on. I don't know what it was, but what was needed. Today, I think everything's on digital. But back then, Roy was really cutting edge. And not only was, Roy known sort of for the electronic things, he could fix just regular washing machines. We had a washing machine that came from my aunt Ursula in Guadeloupe, and it was short. Andre, you remember that? And Roy came by and the ground is loose. So Roy, we appreciate that you're here with me. Thank you so much. A real good friend of mine. Roy, do you want to end just? I am sorry. Minister Laville, did you want to say a few words? After Roy? Okay. I just want to be mindful of protocol. Roy, if you want to say anything, you can use the mic back there. Address the group and Daddy.
Okay. Good afternoon. Barbie and myself, we have been together for a long time. In fact, we came from Montserrat descendants, really. So, well, half me and Barbie, the full works, And as a boy, I used to visit Kenfield regularly and so on to see my granny. And Barbie always used to scare me, But then I started working with Radio Dominica, then DBS Radio. And I met Barbie again, we reconnect. And took me out on outside broadcast. And then sometimes I would act as chief technician, Mr. Buckmeyer was out. And Barbie was taking me to transmitter station. And all over the island doing outside broadcasting. So, and we really had a good time together and working together. Last year, I remember telling Barbie that he had 1-1 score to get to the century. And I advised Barbie to duck bouncers, don't hook. We left every ball outside the stump, play forward all the time, and take the cheeky single. And Barbie took my advice and he got there. So now I am giving Barbie some further advices. He can get some more singles, but continue playing forward, and the last ball of the over, he'll take a single. Okay, good. So Barbie, congratulations, God bless you, and I wish you many more singles.
Thank you, Roy. Awesome. All right, we're right on time. Mr. Laville?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I say good afternoon to everyone, Honorable Minister, and the man of the moment today, well, I call him Mr. Barbie, okay, to all the wonderful family. Greetings to all of you, and it is really one of the greatest honors of my life to be here and to be invited to share in this wonderful celebration with you. Mr. Barbie, there is a special person that we share, and her children too. My dear cousin, Ambrose, okay? So I am related to Ambrose. She's my dear cousin, and thank you for the influence that you have had in her life, the life of her children, Shuma, and my dear cousin, deceased Alexis as well. So thank you for the wonderful lessons and compassion that you have shown to them in their life. I can feel that I am in a sanctuary of love and absolute compassion here today. I know it. I feel it in my bones that it's all love. It's all celebration. I can see it's happiness. And it's all because of you, Mr. Barbie, and your dear wife who precedes you, who scored 102. I remember coming to visit you earlier this year. We would have seen twice this year, as a matter of fact. And there's something special about each visit. And by the way, I am his parliamentary representative, so I'm not here in the capacity as Minister of Health. Okay? And in my visits, one thing that resonates for me is the aroma of boiling broth on that fire when I come there. And the first time he was responsible, and the second time it was his dear grandson who was the one cooking. Mr. Barbie was in the living room on the couch watching cricket. I will not dare to attempt that commentary as Roy Christopher because I never worked by DBS, but I did advise him similarly, to make that 100, all right? And praise God that he made it. I'm so happy. We're also happy. We're all here because of this wonderful milestone, Mr. Barbie. Thank you for the influence and impact that you've had in our community in Canefield and in Dominica with your wonderful years of service at the Nation Station. I've spoken to the manager and I asked him, what are some things that resonate? And while you may not have worked together, I'm not sure, but the stories are there. Your legacy lives on at DBS. And he said to me, the fact that Mr. Barbie was always so diligent. He had the responsibility often to pick up the announcers at 5 a.m. sometimes, and he would never be late. And that absolutely resonates. And also, too, he was a father figure at DBS, and I see some of his students there, because Mr. Joseph, I understand, and my dear father-in-law, Mr. Knight, too, and others like Mr. Tim Duran, he would often give them advice. And be that father figure in their life and to impart his stories and his life lessons. That's the impact of Mr. Barbie. But more than that, it's the family. It's the absolute love and compassion that I hear in your voice, his dear grandson, and the way that you come to tears, it's because of love that has been passed on by Mr. Barbie. And may that love, that compassion live on for generations in your family. I wish you all the absolute best. And may this day be a reflection of all the love that you have given and all the blessings that you will benefit from by the grace of God. Thank you, Mr. Barbie. May God bless this family unceasingly. Thank you very much. God bless.
Very, very nice words from Honorable Williams as well as Honorable DeVille. And I'll say this, I'll go on record and say this, taking care of your citizens, regardless of affiliation, is the right thing to do. And it's not aligned with any sort of political ideology. It's just the decent human things. And I want to commend these leaders for, first of all, taking the time to be here. They could have given how many excuses? Hey, I'm busy today. But that sends a strong message as people, as human beings. And I thank you for that. And I would encourage the rest of the Caribbean to follow in that. Take care of your citizens. Put them first. They make the country stronger. All right. So we'll have time to, others will come up, want to come up and give, their sort of memories of data. We have some time for that built in. But I think of meals already. They shouldn't wait that long. We're going to take a break to get to the food. It's buffet style on the patio is how I think we're set up. I am not sure of the protocol for Fort Young Hotel. If you can give us some guidance, do you want to go by table? We start with this table. That probably makes sense to me, but we're going to take a break so we can get meal. I don't read sign language. Come up and tell me what it is. This is family. I'm good. I think Fort Young is good. So that. Yes. So it's okay. You don't have to whisper. You can tell us.
Okay, we have a little slight change, and that is we're gonna right now because Dada he gets tired, and and we have to bear that in mind. So before he loses most of his energy, we're gonna do the grand cake finale. So we will just do the cutting of the cake with Daddy, and then we get to eating and socializing a bit. So we're gonna do that about now. Okay?
I like it. Good change. Some changes, you just have to admit they're better than what you planned, right? Nothing's wrong with that, so I agree. Yes. While they bring the cake, we have to make use of time. So this cake is going to take 30 seconds to get up. Does anyone want to say a few words to Dada, but keep it short while the cake is getting ready to be cut? We can save the time. Mommy, you want to say something? A little later on? Yes or no? It's not, let's do it. Okay.
Honorable ministers, and everyone present. This is my dad, my dada, as everybody call him, but I always call him daddy because he's been my dad for ever so long. My own father passed away when my mom said I was only 4 months old. And when I was 2 years old, she met this gentleman. So he is my dad. He's here. I don't know anybody else for being my dad. And I love him. I mean, we've had our little, kids when they're growing up. They don't want to listen and do stuff like that. But, I thank God for him being a father figure for me. And another thing, he never disrespected us. Like some fathers, they would come along, they see your daughters, their little breasts growing, they want to touch, they want to do this. Never. We used to sleep at his feet, if you want to know. We used to sleep at his feet. So I love him dearly. He's my dad. He took care of us. He took care of my kids. This is my son. And Andrea, there's my daughter. I have my nieces, my grandchildren, even great-grandchildren over here. So I thank God for this opportunity too, and to let my dad know openly before everybody that I love him. I appreciate all what he did for us. Sometimes it wasn't always, goody two shoes, but that's life. Things happen. But I thank God for him, and I appreciate him as being my dad.
And Daddy, you can eat as much cake as you want because they have no diabetes. You don't have to worry about that. So when it's time to eat, you have at it. And they give us a tray, no? Hip hip, hooray! How you feeling, Bobby? All right. Let's while I organize the food, I'm gonna make sure that he gets his meal. If someone wants to come up and take some space on the mic, dead air is not good for the media business.
at this point, we invite anyone who would like to say something to Daddy. And we have Mr. Dennis Joseph.
You're not asking me if I can say something, you just tell me say something. Hello, friends. I have a problem with Barbie. How come you look younger than me? In fact, I went to Alvin, and this Alvin told me, no, it's not me, it's the young guy next to me. It's good to see you again, Barbie, after all these years. I had the honor of employing him. In fact, the young lady who introduced him to me has herself gone before him. And I found him quite a nice worker. Nice in the real sense. You know, you can say nice and mean all sorts of things. But Barbie was a very nice person. He always spoke in a way that made you feel comfortable. I was his boss, yes, but we were friends. I think so. And he would say things, he'd give advice, he would say, well, so-and-so is happening, maybe you should watch it. It's always good to have a person like that, because I had people around me who were very intelligent, didn't think they had to tell me anything, but Barbie always felt that he had to tell me what was going on, and look out for this, look out for that, and when I'm going to get paid. I think life is possibly the most important thing that we can have, because you can have all sorts of achievements. You can say, I did this, I did that, and the other. And we all applaud and cheer, but life is the most important. And to have 100 years of life is an achievement. Won't be sung from the housetops, won't be some kind of big celebration. What we have is a modest celebration. It's not the Queen's birthday. Nonetheless, it's a birthday of a very important person, a human being. And I believe that if I live to be 100, I will expect will have made a big achievement. Therefore, Barbie, as I didn't even know his real name. I employed him, but I used to call him Barbie. And I think Barbie deserves everything that is said about him and everything that will be said about him. Roy Christopher didn't know was a big cricketer, but he came here and gave a commentary. And he was quite right. Barbie ducked the bouncers. He was able to avoid the pitfalls, and even when they came, he was able to conquer them. Perhaps from that we can learn a lesson, because it's all very well and good to praise and to say how great people are, but you must learn lessons. And the lesson I think we should learn is that you must eat properly. That's my first lesson, because I'm guilty of not eating properly. Just give me old food there and I eat it one time. Exercise, check your weight, and believe me, with that recipe, you will be 100 too one of these days. Happy birthday, Barbie. So for the first time, I might have to say, belatedly, let's say, happy birthday, James Riley. Thank you very much.
So Dennis, before you leave, Mr. Joseph, sometimes you don't think what you don't know. But, Daddy always talks about his house in Kingfield where he resides today. And he always talks about the fact that you employed him, sort of helped influence him being able to get that property. Now, beyond that, it helped us because we moved from a one-bedroom house, a one-room house in Pottersville to that new house in Canefield. So, you indirectly, by hiring him, also played a part in where we are today. So just want to tell you thank you. Sometimes you don't know the things you do. The lesson there, by the way, do the best you can. You never know who else downstream the impacts are going to sort of come their way, right? So do the best you can. It's not all about you. Well done, sir. Appreciate it.
Okay, at this point, we know that every one of us have to, need to have a quick bite, and we have some delicious food prepared by the Fort Young staff. But we have protocols to still follow. And first, we will ask the head table to proceed to get something to eat, and then others will follow, table by table. But we do ask the head table to please, the buffet is outside, there's starters, orders, everything, anything. Grab something to eat. Yes.
Yes. Honorable Appeal. I have to remember the name. Oh, it's this enough, yeah. Let me get it. Okay. My uncle, you know that. Daddy's my father. That is what I'm saying. So you must be my uncle.
Hi, Mr. Barbie.
We have to brother.
Must be. He's not grandfather.
How are
He
you?
looks like he's speaking.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, funny.
Can you tell us what your favorite
This is
food
my
is?
grandfather.
Yeah.
What is like my father?
Is that your problem?
What's your favorite food?
My favorite food, a little pumpkin soup, and a little wing, chicken wing, and a food.
So do you think that's what makes you live so long?
You got dumbo.
You like dumbo?
All dumbo.
You can still eat dumbo?
Huh?
Can you still eat dumbo?
Yeah,
Was it small you eating it?
very small little thing.
And what do you think made you live so long?
What made you live so long?
Well, I drink a lot of kakoti, and local chicken.
And what do you have to say to the young people? What advice would you give them today?
People in the night. You won't be free. Sleep, all right? And eat your little soup, your kakoti. But I know eat a lot of potato and sweet cassava. But my father and mother, they are from Montreal.
Okay.
The Montreal people live long.
Okay, well, enjoy your meal, okay? And happy birthday
Thank
from
you.
all of the internet.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you brought something?
Take father and son. Take father and son. Good. Hi, that's it too. Hey, what you doing?
Salad.
Good.
A little bit of salad.
Yeah. Boy, I come fat one time. You have to get fat if you want to get fat. So she paid for you.
So enjoy all your soup. That one is yours.
Huh?
That is your salad.
Yeah. All that is mine.
Okay. Those of you who would like
That's
to
what.
eat, since the head table has gone, you can table by
Yeah, go back my guy.
And we are almost the end of the
No, my
ceremony. And the time for socializing and eating in the next segment. So feel free to just step off the balcony and grab something to eat.
And the Pendicat booth.
My sister said it nice. The food is ready. Good food, good love.
So on behalf of all of us at Emo News, we again extend happy birthday to Mr. James Riley, also known as Barbie of Pottersville. We pray that God continue to strengthen him and give him longer life. So once again, thanks for joining with us as we celebrate another centenarian in the Commonwealth of Dominica, Mr. James Riley, also known as Barbie.
Mr.